welcome to Crochet Knit Love by Jo. I'm Jo and this is podcast number 8, and I still have a squeaky chair. You think I would have sorted it by now, wouldn't you? Every time I move, you can hear it, so I'm really sorry. It's one of many jobs I need to do, so I hope everyone's been okay. If I'm honest, I'm being a bit inconsistent with the podcast, mainly down to working full-time, but also I think the biggest issue I've had is our internet, as I've said on the last one, is rubbish. So I've tried something else with the last one and it seems to have sped it up, made it go quicker. Not as quick as probably some of you with your fast internet, but hopefully the plan is, because obviously when you're doing a podcast, when you first start out, you start changing maybe the format or when you're going to do it. I'm going to look at doing mine every 2 weeks and look at it coming out, all being well, on a Friday. So those of you who are still watching, who haven't zoned out from this podcast, hopefully you'll get a little bit of time over the weekend to watch it, because that's when I tend to watch mine, sort of because I'm up so early. Ellie's joined us again. She's currently digging a bed over there because she's not very happy because I've got quite a lot of stuff to show. So Winnie Jean has grown so far as stock. I couldn't sleep that well last Sunday. I got up so early, and normally I'd get up, a bit of quiet time and knitting, but because I'm enjoying dyeing so much, I was like a woman possessed. So there was yarn everywhere. So I'm going to show you some of that. What I'm going to do first is show you crochet blanket. And oh, it's all gonna fall. So what I'm going to show you, so this blanket, there's a lady who's reappeared on Facebook who disappeared quite a while ago from my craft life. She does really lovely patterns, but also she used to sell yarn bundles and had a really good eye for putting the colours together. That's something I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that when you do a blanket, it's often easier. Like Attic 24 is a perfect example where the colours are picked for you. I'm getting better at the colour matching, but sometimes you just literally want to pick up a colour pack and have the colours picked for you. And that's what she used to do. And some of the yarns she used to sell was, which I've mentioned before, was the yarn by Woolcraft, New Fashion. They do really nice bright colours. And we've got an old motorhome that we've been doing up called Doris. We used to have a little van called Vera. I think I've already mentioned this. You will have to bear with me. I will repeat things because the memory's not great at the minute. So anyway, Doris, of course, has to have crochet blankets. It's even got bunting in where my son's bed is. I'll have to put a picture in of the bunting that I was doing. I may have already included it. It's going to be one of them podcasts I can't remember what I'm talking about or what I've shown. I am writing notes for each podcast now because I will literally end up doubling up, because as I'm sure you've realised, I can talk about yarn all day long. Anyway, crochet blankets. So I did a throwback picture on Instagram recently of crochet blanket, and it was a rainbow one I made many moons ago. And I've got a picture, which I'll insert, of our son when he was much younger, holding it up. It's huge. I can honestly say it is up there with my favourite blankets. It's a rainbow one. And there's no way I'm going to put a picture in so you can see obviously the size of it. I'm going to hold it up so you can just see a smidge of it. It's huge. It goes on forever. And it's my happy blanket. I love it. I like rainbows anyway. Who doesn't love a rainbow? But this is such a cheerful blanket. Now this, I've said it before with the New Fashion yarn. It's not overpriced. It's a real, what I'd call a bargain yarn. And it has lasted and lasted. So it's always, whenever went away in our little van, our son always had it on his bed. And he's also got it now on the bed in the other van. So it's huge. So that's the rainbow one. So my craft life doesn't do colour packs anymore, but she does have another yarn seller who actually will sell the kits on behalf of her. So if you go over and check my craft life on Facebook, it'll have all the details on there. But yeah, this was one of the kits I got from her many moons ago, and it was a rainbow one, which you can pick up with any yarn. Stylecraft do amazing bright colours. Scheepjes do as well. So you could kind of pick your own rainbow up. This one was just it was 2 rows. So Lucy from Attic24, who I've mentioned before, she has a pattern, a free pattern on her website for a granny stitch blanket. So you could do that. And I've just done a simple scalloped border. But yeah, this is in our van all the time, and I really would like to make one for home. I'm currently working on a crochet blanket as a gift for someone at the minute. The only problem I'm finding, I don't know whether anyone has any tips. I've obviously been knitting more than crocheting, but I got arthritis in this hand anyway, which is a bit miserable. But I'm actually starting to get a lot of pain down here. Now, I'm aware that's carpal tunnel, I believe, but it's the pain down here. Has anyone got any tips that they can share? Comment below on what I can do. I'm fine knitting, but crochet, obviously, because I hold the hook like that, that is really aching. I do crochet really quick, so I probably need to slow down a bit. But yeah, it's kind of taking the fun out of the crochet at the minute, which is a little annoying. Yeah, the joys of getting older. So talking of crochet, I'm going to share this. I'm also going to put a picture of, I made one of my dear friends, Anne, a poncho number of years ago. She still has it, still loves it. I did a pattern before. The reason I'm sharing about this pattern is Crafternoon Treats actually did the pattern and has 25% off her patterns at the moment on Etsy. So I thought it was perfect to mention this because you can go over there and obviously get a bargain pattern. So this is the smaller version of it, and this was using Stylecraft batik yarn, and this was her. So this is a crochet poncho, and it's with the 3 trebles, and you have a main colour going all the way through, separating each of the clusters. And that was with, I just picked, she uses a certain set of colours on Crafternoon Treats, but I actually picked my own set. This was the first one, which is smaller, and I did a much bigger one, which I'll put a picture on, that I gifted to Anne, and she looks fab in it, by the way. Really nice pattern. So if you want to do a crochet poncho that's easy as well, go over to Crafternoon Treats on Etsy. 25% off, and you could make this poncho. She's got some other shawls on there, but this poncho, yeah, I would happily make more of them if I had enough time. So that was that one. So that was using Stylecraft batik yarn. So still on crochet, look at me, it's the crochet show. Just wanted to mention Cotton Pod makes really good kits. She is taking a break from selling her kits at the moment. She's having some surgery, so she's going to have to take some time out. But is doing still on her website pattern downloads. And I was going to save these for Halloween because they're basically pumpkins. But I thought I'd show them now because you might be able to get a pattern and get making before October. So this was the smaller. I actually bought these as kits a number of years ago from Yarndale. This comes out every year, this pumpkin. Although I don't think pumpkins should just be for Halloween. They should be... I've actually got them up in my craft room now so that I can display them all year round and then bring them downstairs when it's Halloween. And then this is the big pumpkin. And this was using Drops cotton. So even if you can just get the pattern, I'm sure, you know, a lot of you will have cotton. You can make it with, you know, your own stash if needs be. But yeah, these were both kits. So if you want to have a go at pumpkins, although we're only in May, they'd be really great. They actually, they grow really quick. This one was obviously, I think this was held double from memory. They're not difficult to do. They do knitted, you can get knitted pumpkins, but personally, I like the crochet ones, and also crochet does grow quicker. So yeah, pumpkins in May. I'll probably bring them out again if I'm still going for Halloween. So that was them. What else? I want to talk about giveaway. Right, now stern talking to those of you. there's several people still haven't claimed their prizes. I always, on the following podcast, always mention who the winner was from the last podcast. So you need to go back and check the podcast, because I still have 3 prizes outstanding. I'm going to, obviously, they've been held back for you, but obviously after a period of time, if I still don't get anyone claiming them, I may have to redo them because I want to give them away. So can any of you who have commented on a previous podcast just have a quick look, even if you don't want to watch the whole video, within the actual podcast, I announce the winners. What I'm going to do is put the winner's name from the last podcast. See, I've just stopped it. Now the dog's barking. Now I'll put it on again. The winner's name below, because I've forgot the bit of paper. And it was for this lovely skein of sock yarn, which is called Kevin, and it's by Care Now Designs. So please message me, ideally on Instagram, and I need your full address, and then I can get this out to you. So congratulations, prize winner, but the name's on there. Another polished performance. So the prize for this podcast, so the podcast, the plan is it'll be every 2 weeks. This will also give me a chance to obviously sort out prizes. Is going to be Winnie Jean, because Winnie Jean has quite a lot of yarn. So it's going to be, this is sock yarn. So it's superwash sock yarn, and it has blues and some lilacs and pinks, and I think it's about 400 meters, and these will make really nice socks. I'm going to attempt to wind this skein here. Well, that's actually better than I did the other one. So can you see the colours? That's probably a better way of showing it. So we've got magenta, we've got some turquoise. So I'm going to give you a skein of Winnie's sock yarn for this one here. What I'd really like you to do, because I actually am going to make, although this is obviously sock yarn, so the 4-ply, I want to make some socks with DK yarn. So to help me, because there's that many socks out there, can you comment below what's your favourite double knit sock pattern, or a pattern that you've seen on Ravelry that you think I'd be able to do? Comment below DK socks, and then, though this isn't DK, it would have been better if I'd done that bit, but you can win this skein of Winnie's yarn, which is really cheerful. So comment below on that. So just quickly, I know why I'm doing this podcast quick, because it's the evening and I'm going to have a very hungry Jake soon. So I've got the joys of working mum. So I'm just going to show you some of the yarn that I've been doing for Winnie's yarn. I'm going to do a shop update. There's quite a lot. And what I'm going to do, I did a promotion discount, but because I'm going to be selling on my own website, it means I can actually do the yarn cheaper than if it was on Etsy, because obviously you get hit for a number of different charges. So I'm going to have, if you have a look, the prices are going to be cheaper than they initially were, because I'm able to do that. I'd rather, you know, I know how much yarn costs. I've obviously bought a few skeins over the years, so have a look out for that. What I've got here is I've done some minis. So this is sock yarn minis. I'm not going to obviously show every single one. I'll try and do as much as I can. So there's going to be some that are grouped together, and then there'll be some where you can just get an individual skein. And these are 20 gram minis. They'd make a great advent calendar. You know what I was thinking I could do? Carl doesn't know this yet, my husband, but I can make up an advent calendar. He could then buy it, because he always gets me an advent calendar. I sell my yarn. I get my yarn back to knit with. Do you think he'll agree to that? I might try that. I was thinking that. I can just see him now going, you're having a laugh. So we've got some greys here. And I've got a selection of, so this double knit merino is so soft. And I've been really doing all the colours. There's a set here So it's 100 grams, they're 20 gram minis, and they have a bit of lilac, a bit of magenta, emerald green in there. There's a right mixture. Oh, it's so soft, really, really squishy that. So there's those. I've done some greens and yellows. I really like these, and they're done in such a way that I'd gradually done the colours down, so you'll see that. So if I can find one, it obviously depends on how I've wound the skein up, but there's more yellow there and then the green. So there's a bundle of them. Let me show you what they look like. I am knitting samples, but as there's only me, I can't knit quick enough, to be honest, so I'm trying to show some of them like this as well. So you can see there's big blobs of the greeny teal aqua colour, and then obviously some yellows as well. So that's those. I've got some merino. I think this is 100% merino, so it has a little bit of a halo on it, and I've done bunches of lilacs and lavenders, and there's a little bit of the natural colour in there. And then I've also done these as well, which are the merino. So I've got some I will list. If it's just 100% merino, I will list that. And then if it's actual sock yarn and it has the nylon in it, I'll list that so it's clear for you. And there's some of the other, I really like them. They're like oranges and like a deep, it wasn't burgundy, it was like a deepish red that's been mixed. Because obviously when you mix the colours, and those of you remember it from school, where you mix certain colours, you'll make another colour. That's kind of what I do with some of these. But I do write them down, particularly the colours that I'm really enjoying doing, so that I can reproduce them. And then this is the twisted sock yarn. So I don't know whether you can see. It's a little bit more bumpy. This is lovely and soft. And I've got a load of different greens and pinks. Also, well, I remember, if anyone's wondering what, you might not, but I know I'm quite nosy, so I'd be like, oh, what's that bag or basket? These are from Dunham Mills. They are such nice baskets for holding yarn, because you can see your yarn through it, but also they look quite nice. So yeah, they were £5 from Dunham Mills, just in case you're interested. I don't know if they do another colour. They do the longer ones. I've got a couple of the bigger ones, but these are perfect for holding these. Anyway, I digress. So I've also got some turquoisey teal. Do you like my technical names? I've got that yellow, is lovely. So that's a real warm yellow. I've got, what else is in there? I think that's all those colours. Yeah, just a mixture of greens. And they're variegated, so they're one colour, but because I do them variegated, it might be a slightly different shade of green in them. You see there? So they're only slight, and the light you'll catch the different, but I really like variegated. But these are perfect for pairing up if you have like a main sock colour. These are great for heels and toes, or to add in a shawl or a colourwork jumper. So also, like a crazy woman, in Winnies, I'm doing slub and sock yarn sets. So basically they're used doing all the same colours, but you'll see they're slightly different in shadings, but that's because the slub absorbs the colour better than the sock yarn. But they are a matching set, which is lovely. It's like peaches and a bit of orange and greens and yellow. There's a bit of yellow in there. So they're going to be a slub set. So you could do slubby socks if you wanted. I tell you what, I have seen jumpers using sock yarn and slub. I'm so going to make a jumper with slub and sock. It's lovely. It creates a really lovely texture. I've also got, this is my other slub set that I did. So these are lavenders with some grey in it and pinks, and that's the matching slub. I'm going to sell them as sets initially because they really, obviously they're the same colourings, but also it's a really nice set. So I've got that one. I'm going to see how they sell, and then I'm going to look at making some more, and I'm so going to do a jumper, but I just don't know what colours yet. So that's those ones. I've done some more Winnie's pink. So this is a merino DK. So this is just the plain pink. It's slightly variegated, but I've also, on top of that, done Winnie's pink with a splash of blue, with blues and pinks within it. You'll see there's some pinks in there. So that is Winnie's pink, but with a splodge of blue. And I'm going to do more of those where I add like some speckles or splashes of other colours. I just really like that pink as a base. And I'm going to show, I've done sock yarn in Winnie's pink, but with splodges of brown, which I really like the brown in it. And I have, I don't know, I must have been in a lavender purpley blue mood. So there's a couple of these, they're the same colours. They've got a few little speckles in them, and they're the purpley ones. I've got them. I've got, I really like this one, blues, and there's pinks in it, a splash of green. They're going to look really nice. That's sock yarn. I also did, which I think would go really nice, another burgundy sock yarn, which I think would go with that. I'm just trying to find my other one. And then I did, see, it's coming undone, a lavender one with bits of green. So you can see there's different variations of them. They will make really nice socks. That is a really quite a plump sock here on that. So that's super wash with nylon as well. And then what else? I did another orange. I've already sold one of these. It went down really well. So I've recreated that orange, and it has speckles in there. It has turquoise, teal, bit of pink. That's a really nice sock yarn. Really cheerful, that colour. So I've done another one of those, and then I did a couple just because I was trying it out. Sorry, I keep leaning over. I've got another one somewhere. So this is, I can't remember whether it's Aran. I'm going to put what it is underneath because I have actually forgotten. So this is double knit, but it's really plump yarn. That would make such a great hat or gloves. So I've done the oranges with splashes of blue and teals. I really like those colours. I've actually got zebra yarn with these sort of colours on them. And then back to the pinks. And it's like a denim-y blue. I'm going to put underneath what these are because I genuinely have forgotten. It's double knit, but it's not the normal DK. Yeah. Oh, there she goes again. Sieve head. And then, told you I had a lot of yarn. I was like a woman possessed. There was just yarn everywhere. And I've tried one of these on. This is really soft. This is the sock yarn. Just checking it definitely is. Yep, sock yarn. So I've done, this will be another one of Winnie's keeping colours, because I had a thing where I was actually dreaming about the colours. That's how sad I am. And I got up and it was really early. I was like, right, I know what I'm going to do. I can't be the only one that does that. We must be all of us that's heads are going 100 miles an hour. So I did sock yarn in pinks and greens with smidges of brown in it. That will make a really nice, really, I can't wait to see what that looks like knit up. And then this is, I've got, I could actually make a jumper out of it. So I've been doing, I was like, I'll do 5 and then one for me to try it, obviously. And then the 4, this was how I justified it to my husband. I went, oh, 4 will be for selling and 1. And then I was thinking, well, no, maybe I'll just sell 1. Then I'll make a jumper. I'm never going to sell any, am I? I'm really enjoying darning. No, I can't darn very well. Dyeing the yarn. So I've got, I think I've got 5 of these. Yes, I have. That's why I'm thinking, sell 1, keep. No, I won't. I can recreate the colour again. Are you not agreeing with me? I think the dog's telling me off now. So that's the double knit merino. And they're all matchy-matchy. Obviously, if you ever bought more than one, you need to alternate them because they're hand dyed. And the colours will vary, as much as I'm very, particular with it. Any hand, yarn dyer will tell you, you need to alternate. Look at the colours on that. I just had pinks and greens in my head, and that's what I did, and really pleased with it. And it was kind of in my head how I thought it would turn out. So I need to knit something with that. I haven't got around to it. Also, I've put on Instagram, you've already seen those, we don't need to. So this was I think I've shown you this, but these are some of them. You'll see them on my Instagram, that are samples that I've made with Winnie Jean. Hats. So I discovered a hat. I'm going to put the name below because that's gone out of my head as well. Quality. I used to have such a good memory, but not quite as good. I do have to write a lot more down. So I forgot to sew the ending. But this is what I knitted with Winnie's. Where are you? It's all going on the... There we go. So this is Winnie's pink. So this is a pink that I'm going to keep. And this is the hat that I made, which is a waffle effect in this pink. So you can see exactly how it looks. I love this pink. And it's a free hat pattern. I'll put the name below. Very easy to follow. And I do the back, you know, you knit into the back of the stitch rather than going in normally to do a knit. So it makes a much tidier rib to the beanie. And this was also, which I've got to redo the colour. This is Winnie Jean as well, in the same hat, because I enjoyed that hat so much that it has pinks and lilacs and oranges. And there's the dog barking. Sorry about the dog. It's real, isn't it? It's real when I'm filming this, real life. Just quickly before I go, because I know they're home now and they're going to want feeding. The jumper that has been on timeout for a couple of weeks because I was just really cross because I'm stupid and basically knitted it wrong, even though the instructions and pictures clearly show. Basically, that's a sleeve that should have a strip of purl and the rest knitted. But no, let's do loads of pearls and a bit of knitted underneath. Yeah, I am an idiot. But I put it on timeout and then I was like, I've only just used one ball of this. The balls are £9.99. So at the moment, this jumper has cost me just over £10. So my kind of thing was, I'm just going to carry on with it. And then I'm going to actually do it properly the next time. So I'm on Sleeve Island. I'm doing the other sleeve, but I have finished the bottom. I put the band on it and it fits nice. It's a little bit oversized, which is what I want, but I love it. And yeah, I'm going to call it my cock-up jumper. Probably shouldn't say that, should I? My messed up jumper. My unique jumper, there we go. Probably shouldn't use the other word. And yeah, I've just got to finish the cuffs on it, but I've left it because I obviously want to make sure, because I'll probably, knowing me, the way I'm at the minute, I'll probably end up doing one arm longer than the other. Let's hope not. But yeah, it's the Flax jumper by Tin Can Knits, and it's a great pattern. Really sorry, the dog's barking. But read the pattern correctly and you'll be fine. Don't do what I did and think you're a know-it-all. But I do quite like it with the sleeves like that. Once I've finished it, Cole's going to have the pleasure of trying it on, whether he wants to or not. So I can see if the size works for him. And then I'm going to knit him a jumper. Because I've really, this I'm loving. But I also want to knit some smaller, you know, like sleeveless tops. There's loads out there at the minute, so I'm going to have a go at that as well. So anyway, ramblings of a mad woman, that's me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go and do some tea, dinner, depending which part of the country you are. We have this debate. My husband's from Lancashire, and he calls it tea, but we call it dinner. Funny how we have the different names for this same thing. So I'm going to go and cook some food, because we can agree on that. And hopefully this will be loaded by Friday evening. Hopefully 24 hours it will be. Please, if you're any of the winners, message me, because I really do want to get your prizes out as soon as. And thank you so much for watching. If you really like this and want to get a notification, as it's going to be more consistent every 2 weeks, there's a little bell, you can click on that, and obviously you can subscribe and you get notifications, which is what I do for other podcasts, because I would forget otherwise. So hope you all have a lovely weekend when it eventually gets here. and take care, and I am gonna let you go because the dog is barking. Bye.